Alrighty. I gotta keep it real with you. The brother is tired. But I want to get on here right quick and do another preview. But Carolina Panthers talk live. Blitzball Champ Gaming in the house. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. And for this episode, gonna talk the final home game of the season, week 16 for the Carolina Panthers. And I'm really hopeful that this team can end on a good note at home, at least with a victory. It'd be really nice. Be really nice. But Carolina Panthers will have their last home game of the year this Sunday, hosting the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals, who are currently with a record of 7-7, still technically in the playoff hunt, but Carolina, really the only thing they can do is just try to play spoiler. um, let's see. The Ravens and the Steelers both clinched playoff berths. Um, the Vikings clinched a playoff berth as well. I mean, so far we know the Bills, the Steelers, Ravens, Texans. Oh, Texans ended up winning the division. Okay. Chiefs, Eagles, Lions, Vikings. So far, they're the only teams that have clinched a playoff spot. And so far, only the Bills, Texans, and Chiefs are division winners so far. But yeah, let's see. Wait, what is this? Ah, but we'll see how this goes. Um, I was looking at the injury report. Well, first off, the matchup. ESPN matchup predictors 74.4% in favor of the Cardinals, 25.4% in favor of the Panthers. And like I said, this is Carolina's chance to play spoiler because Arizona's still in the playoff hunt. So, and of course, the last time we played Arizona, they did beat us. But it is a team that Carolina has beaten before. Um, let's see. Oh, sorry about that. That was my phone. Um, quite an interesting injury report. Uh, for Carolina, they're going to be missing Xavier Legette with a hip injury. He's been ruled out. Um, questionable. Uh, left tackle Ike Ekwonu and Robert Hunt. Um, Ashawn Robinson was held out. He's questionable. Wide receivers Jalen Coker and David Moore are both questionable. Jadeveon Clowney was questionable, but he was a full participant Friday. So, definitely banged up. Arizona, let's see. Linebacker Jesse Luketo's on IR. Cornerback Elijah Jones on IR. Sean Murphy Bunting is questionable. Evan Brown at center is questionable. Let's see. Mac Wilson Sr. is out. Trey Benson, the running back, is out. Paris Johnson Jr. is out. Amari DeMarcado, injured reserve. I mean, they got a handful of folks on injured reserve. BJ Ojolari is on injured reserve. I'm also thinking. Now, one thing's for sure. Definitely don't want to sleep on Kyler Murray. Especially somebody that can scramble. And if we don't put a spy on him, that could cause problems. Running back James Conner on his way to 1,000 yards rushing. And, the run defense has been weak for Carolina. So that could be an issue. That could definitely be an issue. Oh, pardon me. Oh. Right now, their leading receiver is, of course, Marvin Harrison Jr. With 687 receiving yards. But as far as overall top receivers, actually their tight end, Trey McBride, who's on his way to 1,000 yards receiving. Right now is at 938, so he's close. Got Michael Wilson at 482 yards. Greg Dortch at 258 yards. So there's that. I know as far as defense, I mean, you still got Butter Baker. There is Sean Murphy Bunting, but he's apparently questionable. Oh yeah, Baron Browning. Is he even available? Yeah, he's active. Okay. Pardon me. Sorry for the yawning. Like I said, I am tired, so probably won't be on here too long. Corey should be on his way in. But I do think we have a shot at winning, which, like I said, I do hope we win. I mean, I would like to see us at least win the last home game of the season. You know, and then there's two road games afterwards, but I really hope we can at least finish off with at least one more win at home, preferably. Um, and I believe it's a 1 o'clock game. Is it a 1 o'clock game? Yes, a 1 o'clock game. If anything, I hope this isn't a game that Dave Canellis panics on. Because, like I said, can't be panicking and stray away from the run game. Got to stay with the run. Got to stay with the run. So I'm really hoping that they do that. So let's see. As far as threats, I know definitely Kyler Murray. A healthy Kyler Murray can be dangerous. James Conner, like I said, our run defense has been bad throughout the season. So, got to keep that in mind. Let's see. As far as receivers, I mean, other than tight end Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr., maybe Greg Dortch. Those are really the only names that stand out to me as threats. I mean, like I said, Trey McBride is on his way to 1,000 yards receiving as a tight end. Although I do find it odd that he has no touchdowns this season. Why the heck does he have no touchdowns this season? That's weird. Wait a minute. How the heck does this dude not have a touchdown? What? That's weird. That is weird. How the heck does this tight end have 89 catches for 938 yards and still not a single receiving touchdown this season? Like, what? That makes no sense to me. Yeah, that makes no sense. Like, what? Settle down, Gigi. Yeah, that's odd. Dang. Like is he not like a red zone threat or anything like that? Because it doesn't make sense how this dude has 938 yards receiving and doesn't have a single touchdown this year so far. And here it is about to be week 16. Like, that makes no sense to me. That makes no sense to me. Damien, welcome to the stream. Says, I thought Marvin Harrison Jr. would be breaking records with the Cardinals. I don't know about that. Um, but I mean, he's shown some promise. He's shown some promise. I mean, he's probably not gonna get 1,000 yards receiving by the end of the season, but I mean, he's shown some promise. Let's see, 92 targets, 47 catches. I mean, it's not too bad for his rookie year. Could have been better, but I mean, that's not too bad. It could have been worse. But if anything, I just don't understand how Trey McBride has 938 yards receiving and he doesn't have a single touchdown. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. What about that, Damien? what about Trey McBride having 938 yards receiving and no touchdowns this year? Shoot, that's messed up. I don't get that at all. And then again, maybe he might not even be a red zone threat. Who
What's
knows?
good, man?
Hey, you
What's
made
good?
it. You doing all right?
Yeah, sorry about that. Took a minute to get the stream transition and everything.
Oh nah, you good. You good. But yeah, I was just getting into a little more details with this matchup. Um, there's something that jumped out at me that is really, really odd.
Hmm.
How the heck does Trey McBride have 89 catches, 938 yards receiving, and not a single touchdown this year?
That's a very good question, actually. Um, I think it might have something to do with the fact that they have red zone troubles, and
Well, that's pretty bad if they can't get this dude into the end zone and he's their leading receiver and is on his way to getting 1,000 yards receiving. Like, that's really odd. I mean, shoot. If they're that bad in the red zone, ugh. I don't know, it's really odd. Really, really odd.
it is. Give me a second to get set up. Go ahead and
Oh,
whatever else you have.
yeah,
I'm still getting set up.
oh, okay. Yeah, I don't get that. I mean, that's got to be something up with their offense or what it is they're running, or maybe just they're that bad in the red zone. Because I mean, there's that, and James Conner. I mean, he's on his way to 1,000 yards rushing as well. But yeah, it just looks really odd. But we got to keep it that way. We got to keep it that way. We can't be the first team that they let Trey McBride score a touchdown on. We can't be the
Agreed.
first.
Yeah.
We we
Yeah.
we got to keep them shut down with that. But I am concerned for the running game. I mean, James Conner has had a good year. So
Yeah, that's correct.
so he's only a handful full of yards away from 1,000 this year. But Carolina has a chance to play spoiler because, Arizona is still in the playoff hunt.
Correct.
So I just honestly I would like a win for the sake that this is the last home game.
I
So,
would like a win for different reasons. Because we need to send a message to the league that yes, that past month um of games was not a fluke. That
right,
was actually us. You know,
right,
that is who we are. Not the Dallas game, but the games that we played against KC, Philadelphia, and Tampa Bay. Those games are actually who we are.
right,
Otherwise, people are going to see us as a doormat again. If we lose to Arizona, if we lose to Atlanta, we lose to Tampa Bay, one of these three teams, we look like a doormat again, especially two in a row, So this this game we need a win,
agreed.
I
Badly.
think.
Yeah,
And I'm willing to sit on a fifth draft pick, if we win this game, but no further down than that, you know. I don't really want an eighth draft pick. I want fifth.
You want fifth? You want in the top five?
Yeah, because there's a few players that showed up on our radar. Those that I've shared with you in the team chat that I think are pretty solid
Right, right. I remember you
options
share.
for us.
Let's see.
You know, we
Um,
we really don't want to throw those names out too early because of the scouts, but you know that's what we're doing.
right. So we're gonna be without Xavier Leggett for this game.
Yeah.
Um, so that's one weapon down. Um, we got a handful of folks questionable. I mean, Ike Ekwonu, Robert Hunt, Ashawn Robinson, Jalen Coker, David Moore, Jadavion
Hmm.
Clowney.
Hmm.
So
Those are big names.
yeah, we're pretty banged up.
Yeah, very true.
So, but I think this game really is just going to be, like I said, Carolina has a chance to play spoiler. Um, and really just with the offense, I mean, Kyler Murray, I mean, which they did beat
Right.
us. They did beat us last time we played them, which I think was in Arizona. Um, but yeah, we gotta be sure to keep an eye on him. Maybe have a spy on him. We gotta stop the run. I mean, you can't let James Conner get going. Um,
True. And
I
our D line isn't capable of stopping the run. That's the problem.
right now, I don't know how you feel about the Arizona defense.
Uh, I am just now looking them up. Um, and by the way, Marvin Harrison Jr. has 7 touchdowns as a rookie.
Yeah.
You mentioned something about Arizona
Well,
Trey McBride not getting any touchdowns. It's because Marvin Harrison's getting them. And let's see. You've also got Michael Wilson. You got Greg Dortch. So they're getting these touchdowns. Um, well, Greg isn't. Greg only has one.
yeah.
Let me see how much. Does Michael have any? Yeah, Michael's got 4. Um, so yeah, they're all going to Marvin Harrison, really, and the running back James
Yeah.
Conner.
Yeah. Um,
And James Conner has 7. So
yeah.
there you go.
So those are probably the names to keep an eye on when it comes to the offense. Damien says, question. I know winning is everything, but with y'all already out of playoff contentions, wouldn't y'all want to lose to get a higher draft pick at this point? Well, a lot of people already know how I feel about tanking, Damien. Here's the thing, Damien. What gets you championships? Wins or losses? Ultimately, what gets you a championship? Because here's the thing you got to keep in mind, Damien. Why that might seem like a perk, it's not always a guarantee. Example, look at what happened with Jonathan Brooks. Now, I know that's just one season, but you got to understand, and this is just in a general sense for me personally. Um, but it's not always guaranteed that that high draft pick works out. I mean, we all know this. We've followed and watched the NFL for many years now. And at the end of the day, Damian, you got to remember what gets you championships. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. Corey, I don't know if you want to touch on that or if you want to share your thoughts, but go right ahead.
I do.
Yeah, go for it.
I think with this draft pick, we're drafting anywhere between 3 and 8. If we lose out, we sit at 3, and it'll depend on the Titans and Jaguars game in week 17, which is next week.
Yes. This is even kind of crazy that we even have 2 games left after this. Man. But, then again, it's 18 weeks. Instead of 17, it's 18 weeks. So, I
Yeah.
mean,
And I don't like tanking either, but find me a better way to get what we need. You know what I mean? Like the thing is, when you're sitting up at the top 5, you get a lot of talent that is necessary for a rebuild. It's necessary for building up a dynasty, and you won't get that by winning meaningless games that you can't win. You know, that that you shouldn't be winning, because you're out of the playoffs. So at that point, it's just like, okay, well, play all 4 quarters the best you can, take the L, you know, and whatever pick you get, you get. But I'm not about trying to lose on purpose. I don't want us to lose on purpose, but at the same time, like, we do need these picks. You know what I mean?
hmm
So, like, the NFL is the only system where it allows you to do this stuff. And you can't benefit from the NBA because the NBA is a lottery. I don't know about the NHL. I don't pay attention to the NHL,
me neither.
but I know that the NFL is the only place where you can actually like lose and get a better pick. You know,
Yeah.
and while that's a good thing, but it's a bad thing too. Um, and that draft pick, no matter where that spot is, within 2 to 3 picks, that can be the difference between getting the player that you need and getting a secondary choice, that somebody else takes from you.
Yeah.
So it matters a lot. And until they change that, you have to do what you have to do
Yeah.
in
a-
order to get what you need. So,
And I think another thing that makes it really, kind of difficult to bear or whatnot is, I mean, when your team has had so many seasons in a row of 5 wins or less, including like some 2 and some 3-win seasons, like, I don't know about y'all, but it gets to the point where it's like enough is enough, and you're just tired of seeing the franchise lose so much. And I am at that point. But
I understand that too.
and I think a big part of that is, I mean, you've been watching for a long time, and I know you've seen a lot of games that we've lost that we really had no business losing. But
I mean, that's true too. Um, the only way I can really uh try to figure out how we lost that Dallas game is to say, yeah, we flipped the script, and say, we tried to play our best football that we could possibly play, and we decided that the best way to retain our top 5 spot is to just flip the script and go right back to the mistakes that we were making so that we lose anyway. So it really doesn't matter. We're going to lose one way or another. And I don't like that thought process because it's the same mistakes we were making at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Just right back where we started from. It's like we made no progress whatsoever when you watch that Dallas game.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
Yeah.
It's like I don't comprehend what the heck I'm watching while I was watching that game. It pissed me off, dude. Because
Right.
I mean, if we're gonna lose, I want it to be all 4 quarters of Carolina Panthers football. I
Right.
want it to be like what I was watching before,
Yeah. Like
not
legit.
that garbage that we started out the year with. Now everybody's gonna come out of the closet. All the Panther haters, all the Bryce Young haters, they're right back out of the closet again.
Yep.
You put them in the closet during November, and now here they are. They're back again because you lost to Dallas.
Yep.
And you're like, really? And now you're back to questioning Ever Ojaro again. You're back to questioning Robert Woods, you, Xavier Woods, I mean,
Right.
and you're back to questioning Icky on the offensive line again. And you're like, did we make any progress whatsoever?
Mm.
Like,
Damien's
it makes zero sense to me.
Damien
That's what makes no sense to me,
Damien says, "Trust me, as a Bears fan, I understand." LOL.
bro. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when we look at this stuff, man, and I mean, really look at it, Kyler Murray is just yet another quarterback that's got the skills to beat us, you know.
Yeah.
But how do we attack that? We've got to play disciplined
Right.
football, and we haven't been playing disciplined football against Dallas.
Agreed.
And I, on the surface, Arizona just doesn't scare me. They don't come across as a playoff caliber team. Even though they're in the wild card race.
Right.
They're not going to get further than probably the first round.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah.
got they've
Well, technically, they still could win their division, as shocking as that sounds.
as trash as that division is, it doesn't surprise me, bro.
Because, I
I mean, I'm
mean,
I'm seriously looking at it like nobody wants to win that Western Division. Nobody wants it.
yeah,
They've been going back and forth all year.
it's probably, it might come down to week 18.
It probably will. Um,
Because
and
so
I mean, just
Because so far, we only have two, or excuse me, three confirmed division winners, and that's the Chiefs, Bills, and
mm-hmm,
Texans.
mm-hmm.
So, pff,
So looking at this Cardinals defense, I see Buda Baker got an extension.
yes,
He is a very, very dangerous player. You're looking at a 5'10, 195-pound safety for Washington, 78 solo tackles, 2 sacks. Now, hold up. 78 solo tackles.
it's a lot.
Holy crap. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's
He
definitely
got
a
10
lot.
against the Commanders. He got 10 against the Bears, 8 against the Seahawks, and 7 against the Rams. That's just right out of the gate.
Yep.
And this dude is averaging around 100 or more combined tackles a year. You look at solo tackling, he had 91 solo tackles in 2019.
Yeah.
Um, but
Ernest Capu, welcome to the stream. He says 30 to 21 to 30 this Sunday, I guess, rooting for the Panthers. Ernest, you do realize that Carolina has only scored 30 points once this year. You do realize that, right?
oof.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying you might want to rethink your prediction. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay, continue.
So the bigger thing to worry about here is the pass deflections. He's already got 7 pass deflections so far this year. He's got 37 total in his career.
Hmm.
And don't think just because he hit 7, oh, he's hit his quota, he's going to stop getting pass deflections. No, he's not. This is going to be a career high pass deflection year because you still got 3 games left
Right.
for Arizona. So that's something that's a little bit alarming.
It is.
We're also looking at 2 forced fumbles this year. That's something to keep an eye on too. He is a solo tackler. He's got 56 solo out of 74 combined,
Hmm.
and he's got a sack. This dude is extremely dangerous.
Yes.
Keep the ball away from him at all costs. Um, I've heard really, really good things about Sean Murphy bunting as well.
Yeah. Who is listed as questionable but will probably play?
Yeah, he'll probably be on David Moore most likely. Matchup
Yeah.
wise, 6 foot even, 195 pounds from Central Michigan, 6 years in the league, 19 solo tackles, 2 forced fumbles. But here's the big number I want people to pay attention to: 2 interceptions.
Yep.
That's worth paying attention to, ladies and gentlemen. He does have a pass of some pass deflections here this year. One, two, three, four this year.
Hmm.
Yeah, but he got 8 last year with the Tennessee Titans and 7 with the Buccaneers the year before. So it's not like he's not. It's not like he's slowing down on pass deflections.
Right.
So there's the thing there. Um, he's got 10 interceptions over his whole career, 2 a year, essentially. 8 forced fumbles for his whole career. 2 of those were this year. So, looking at his tackling, 19 solo tackles out of 42 combined.
Hmm.
You look at it as a whole over his whole career, 182 solo out of 287. So he's not exactly a solo tackler. He needs help. So there's your weakness. So see if you can exploit that. Um, let's go to Jalen Thompson. Jalen Thompson's another one I've heard of. 5'11", 190 pounds from Washington State, 35 solo tackles.
Uh
So
huh.
he's essentially a run stopper. So if you can find ways to get around that, I think you got a shot at beating him. But he'll be up on the line a good bit. Let me make sure everything that we're doing is on screen here so everybody can see this. Okay, that's better. All right. Cool. Let's do hmm, Garrett Williams, maybe? Garrett Williams.
Oh yeah, Garrett Williams on defense, right?
Yeah, 5'10, 192 pounds from Syracuse, 29 solo tackles, one forced fumble, and two picks this year.
Mm-hmm.
He also has three, four, five, six pass deflections so far.
Mm-hmm.
His rookie numbers don't really reflect too much, but now he's starting to settle in. And he's got 29 solo tackles out of 43 thus far. Um,
Forest City Kitty, welcome to the stream. Says, "Hope we finish strong. It's been a long season."
mm-hmm. The thing that concerns me most about him is those pass deflections and the two picks.
Ah, fair enough.
We've got to be careful about ball control. Make sure we don't give up control of the ball. There's
Right.
a few of these guys that are going to be hunting for that on this defense. Um,
Yeah, I'd rather not have another 4 turnover game.
I'm not as familiar with most of these names on here. Dante Stills, 2 years in the league, 6'4", 286 pounds from West Virginia. His name I do remember from the draft. 11 solo tackles, one forced fumble, 4.5 sacks. So he is a defensive tackle. That's what he's listed as on the site.
I see.
But his sacks are kind of spread out. His numbers are kind of spread out. For the year. He's not a solo tackler. He has 26 solo tackles out of 82 career wise.
Okay.
So there's a weakness that you can exploit. You might be able to break his ankles, get past him if you're a wide receiver or running back.
Mm, duly noted.
Yeah. If he gets into the backfield and you got a chance to escape, you got some wheels on you as far as being an offensive player, such as Bryce does, you might be able to break some ankles there.
There we go.
I don't think he's going to get a sack against you, but you never know. Don't let him start doing it now. Some of these guys, just because they don't show the numbers and the tendencies right now, doesn't mean they can't start showing them. If you allow them to, they will take advantage
Good point.
if they've got the skills. But you won't know that, if you don't do your homework on these players.
True, true.
That's what film study is for. Some of this stuff is not going to show up in the stats. Um, who is Mac Wilson Sr.? That's what I want to know who that is.
I'm not too familiar with that name.
Because Isaiah Simmons was supposed to be a linebacker and he is not there anymore. So now you have Mac Wilson, who is supposed to replace him. 6 years in the league from Alabama, 6'1", 246.
Mm-hmm.
37 solo tackles, 3 sacks, one pick.
Yes.
Again, not that exciting because the numbers are kind of split up. He got 2 sacks against the Vikings and a pass deflection that game. That was recently. That was week 13.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
So he may be somebody to keep an eye on. Um, but he's not exactly a solo tackler though. 164 for 303. However, don't let him get into the backfield because he already has 3 sacks this year.
Can't have that.
Yeah. Pass deflections wise, you're looking at 4 this year, but 17 total for his career. But the biggest number I want people to pay attention to is that one. 4 forced fumbles over his career. He doesn't have any this year. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, let's not give him any.
Let's not start that trend. Let's not continue that, all right? That I don't want to see. Let's see. Victor Dimajik. He sounds familiar. That
Doesn't
name sounds familiar.
doesn't ring a bell to me.
He's from Duke. I figured
Oh,
so. I figured so. That name sounded familiar to me. Okay, 4 years in the league, 6'2", 262. 6 solo tackles, 1 forced fumble. Yeah, this guy was from the Duke team that was really, really good back then.
interesting.
Yeah, outside linebacker. Hasn't really played that much. He's been a backup, but when he has played this year, he has gotten tackles. So it's just something to be aware of, just as far as like if you're running the ball.
Right,
He has
right.
37 solo tackles out of 62. But the biggest thing is he had 4 sacks last year. That's something I want people to pay attention to. 1 pass deflection, so he's not much of a pass deflector. He's got 2 forced fumbles. One of them this year, one last year.
Okay.
All right, so you know me, I'm a stickler for ball control and stuff like that. So anything that I see that is going to stick out like that for forced fumbles, interceptions, stuff like that, turnovers wise, I'm going to pay attention to it.
Right. Which is understandable.
It's immediately going to grab my attention. Mac Wilson Sr. I got a feeling this defense, there's more to this defense than there appears to be. All right, Mac Wilson, 6 years in the league, 6'1", 246, 37 solo tackles, 3 sacks, 1 pick. Let's see. The thing that immediately grabs my attention is the 7 solo tackles that he got against the Bills
Ah.
this year. He did get a pass deflection in that game as well. So he went off in that game, man. Uh he does have a pick against the 49ers, Brock Purdy, too.
Oh, does he? Oh, right on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. One of the few that Brock Purdy's thrown this year, as I recall. He
Oh,
hasn't thrown many.
oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, so again, something that catches my attention, 4 picks. 4 forced fumbles in his career. Doesn't have any this year. Had 2 last year with the Patriots. So something to keep an eye on there. 17
Fair
pass
enough.
deflections. He had 4 so far up to this point. His career high was 7 in 2019 with the Cleveland Browns, with an interception that year as well. But
Uh-huh.
that year was the year he started 14 of 16 games. That was the only other year besides this year where he has fully started almost a full season. Below that would be 8 games started in 2020, and it goes downhill from there.
Forest City Kitty says, "Do y'all think Bryce will bounce back tomorrow?" Yeah, I think so.
I think so too.
I think
I
so.
think that it's going to depend on the offensive line. It's going to depend on, are we still dealing with wide receiver separation issues? Um, are we still dealing with drop passes? You know, those are the key things with Bryce. Um, so essentially, are we dealing with the same problems that we were dealing with before we played the KC game? That's really what it is.
Mm,
And if we're not, then Bryce will do better and
fair,
he will bounce back.
fair analysis. Uh, Kevin McFarland, welcome to the stream. He says, "Hello, Blitz. Did you guys watch any of the college football games? Ohio State is beating the brakes off of Tennessee, 42-10. Impressive. Did not think that would happen. Not
I am currently watching it as we speak, actually.
yeah,
42-16.
yeah. I haven't watched any. I've been at a fighting game tournament all day today, so like,
I actually reacted to the Clemson versus who do we play today? My mind just went blank.
uh oh, come on now, that's your team. Come on.
Texas Longhorns.
Ah, Texas, gotcha.
And we had never previously played Texas. That's the interesting part. And we played horribly in the first half, and then horrible clock management, and we lost by about what, 10, 14 points.
Oh, y'all didn't win the game. Oh no.
Nope. Nope. But the fact that we came back, though, we were down like 21-7 at halftime,
Uh
and we
huh.
came back and started doing work, man. And but the thing is, we had trouble stopping the run, and they had like NFL level numbers on us running game wise. It was bad. Um,
Yeah, Kevin,
you know,
38-24. Yeah.
yeah. And I feel like we had the opportunity several times to get back into this game. Like Texas just kept opening the door for us, kept opening the door, and we just could not take advantage. And it's a shame because we had the talent, we had the ability, and it was just like, okay, what are we doing? Because that there was an opportunity to stay in and stay with Texas early on, where it was like we were at our 35-yard line. It was a 4th and 1. And I said, if we don't go for this and we don't keep up with them on the scoreboard, they will score a touchdown and we will be down 7.
Mm. Ooh, interesting comment from Kevin. He says Clemson did not deserve to be in the playoffs compared to their 2018 season. They had their time though. It was fun from 2016 to 2018. Ooh, your thoughts on
I
that?
disagree with that. This team can battle anybody all 4 quarters. You name a team, we can battle them.
What's their record?
And
What's their record this year?
it was 10-3.
Wait.
10 and
So
3 with an ACC championship trophy in our case as well. We beat SMU,
and y'all were ranked, right?
who were, yeah,
So
who
what?
is also in the playoffs
So
currently.
so Kevin, why don't they deserve to be in the playoffs compared to the 2018? See, here's the
We
thing.
went blow for blow with Texas today, and if we had used proper clock management and played better, and stopped the run, I guarantee you this would have come down to less than 7 points.
I see. Well, here's the thing, though, Kevin. Like you say, compared to their 2018 season, which Corey, you know a lot more about than me. But here's the thing.
Yeah,
It still doesn't change the fact that Clemson did what was necessary to make the playoffs. You know,
right,
whether it was weaker than 2018 or better than 2018, it still doesn't change the fact that they did what was
right,
necessary to make the playoffs.
right. It's irrelevant
Kevin
at this
says
point.
he says it's because they lost. They lost to Louisville. I mean, but still, did
Which
they?
I was in attendance during that game too, by the way.
But it's like still, they did enough of what was necessary to make the playoffs. That's the overall point.
And actually, it's because we lost to South Carolina. That's why we got kicked out.
Forest City Kitty says, I think if you win a Power Four conference like the ACC, you should automatically get in. Hmm,
Hmm,
perhaps.
debatable. I mean, you've had ACC opponents in the playoffs several times over. You've had Florida State. You've had Pittsburgh's been in the rankings as well. Um, you know, there's been a couple of years where North Carolina was in the rankings too.
Hmm.
So I mean, it's not like we don't have teams that are strong enough to be in the rankings, but playoff caliber teams, not really. It's been us, and there's a major gap. Um, but do we have a weaker team than the 2018 team? Of course we do. But are we reloading? Sure. And
Yeah.
every major team has to reload at some point. Alabama is reloading right now. You know, they went through a couple of years where they had to reload, even under Nick Saban, and they came back stronger than ever. So I mean, we're just going through that period right now, and Dabo's been reluctant to use that transfer portal, and now he's starting to use it. You know, but is it too little, too late? Because we needed some of that talent. Before we faced Louisville, before we faced South Carolina. So, but the fact that we beat a playoff team, SMU, proves that we belong in there, for the ACC championship. Now, my question to you is, does SMU belong in there? And,
Hmm.
and there's the trick question, because if you say yes, then that means we belong in there. If you
Uh,
say no, then that means that both our teams are weak, which
Ke-
is not true.
Kevin says, I like Dabo Sweeney for Clemson, but other teams I just felt were better this season. That is my thinking. And that could be the case,
That's
but
fair.
it still doesn't change the fact that Clemson did what was required, what was necessary
Mm-hmm.
to make the playoffs. Because, I mean, you think
Yeah,
about it. Like, think back to when Carolina won the division, made the playoffs at 7-8-1. Is it a great
exactly.
is it a great record? No, but it still doesn't change the fact that
We won the division.
they won the division.
Yeah,
They did what was needed to win the division. Yeah,
right.
sure the other teams struggle, but
Mm,
if you got an issue with that, I mean, talk with the organization.
right,
We don't make the rules.
right.
Like, there's a division winner for every division, and
Yep,
that's how it's always been. I
yep.
mean, because at the end of the day, and we've even found this out the hard way as well. All right, fast forward to 2015.
Yep.
We made the playoffs at a 15-1 record, and guess what? We still didn't win the Super Bowl. The Patriots made it to a Super Bowl with an undefeated record. Guess what? They didn't win the Super Bowl. They lost to the Giants. So was that really a successful season when you think about it?
Um, I would say yes and no, and I'll add to that comment about the records in a second. But Is it a successful season because you went 15-1? Yes. Is it a successful season if you went undefeated? Yes, because you just got into the NFL record books. You know, you won the games necessary to get to the Super Bowl. So yes, it was a successful season. But no, because you didn't come away with the Super Bowl trophy.
Right.
So both can be true at the same time.
I guess it really just comes down to like what do you really want to see and what are you, pleased with versus disappointed with? Because it's like,
What are your standards
yeah,
of a successful season? And I've heard people come up with that argument before, and say it's Super Bowl or bust attitude, you know, and I respect it. I disagree with it, but I respect it, you know,
yeah. And
and
and it's just like, when I was saying a while back about, certain players that have done extremely well at a lower tier college versus players that have done extremely well at a more prestigious tier.
yeah,
Like I'm not saying that one ain't better than the other.
right.
I'm saying that because both have done well in their respective fields, they at least deserve a look or a chance. I'm not saying that they're going to thrive by,
Okay.
default, but I at least think if you do your job and you do your job well where you're assigned at, then yeah, you deserve a shot. That's just
All
me
right.
though.
I'll comment on that, and then I'll again get back to the records.
Yeah, go for it.
Um, when it goes to players from different prestigious, colleges, uh, what you're looking for, okay, say you're finding somebody from maybe name a lower tier college.
Holy Cross.
Okay, Holy Cross. So what you're looking for are big numbers, that are bigger than what they should be compared to the rest of that conference. You know what I mean? At that
Hmm.
position. That indicates that they would do well in a bigger conference and put up average numbers in that conference and match up with everybody else, that is being evaluated from that bigger conference, say the SEC, seems to be the measuring stick right now, or the ACC, or the Big Ten. So when it comes to draft time, then it becomes, do they have the correct measurables? Do they have the correct skills, necessary to fit an NFL team? You
Hmm.
know, then it becomes, what does your organization need? What do they do? What system do they run? What are they looking for? What are their standards when they're looking for a certain player? You know, and if it catches their eye, um, such as Coker did, when you look at his measurables, when you look at his numbers, they stand out from all the people in the seventh round. And
Hmm.
that's what caught my attention when I was doing the mock drafts. And I said, you know what? Let's go get Jalen Coker. When I was doing the mocks in the seventh round, I had an extra pick. So I said, why not? And that caught the attention of the management. And they said, hold up, this dude is still undrafted. And that shows you that the scouting department is doing their job correctly because they're looking at those numbers, not just at where they're from, but looking at the numbers too, and the measurables, and all the correct things. Not just, oh, he's from Holy Cross, so we're going to ignore him. You know,
Right, right.
they're saying, oh, he's from Holy Cross, but look at these numbers.
Yeah,
That's
agreed.
what's caught their attention. That's how you scout correctly. So if you don't do that and you say, "Oh, well, this dude's from Furman or this dude's from um, Appalachian, Appalachian State," and you don't pay any attention to that, and you're like, "Oh, okay. Well, we just want Georgia, Tennessee, and South Carolina players." You're doing yourself a disservice because you're missing out on some hidden gems,
Yeah.
and we picked those players up this year through Dan. So shout out to Dan Morgan on that one and his scouting crew because they're doing their jobs correctly. That's how you know. Um, and with offensive linemen, it's a lot trickier. We managed to spot Brady Christensen and Cade Mays throughout that whole chaos, and that shows you that we are able to find this stuff. You know, we're able to find the diamonds in the rough that no one's able to find
There you
because
go.
we're looking at the measurements. We're looking at, okay, how many snaps did you play at a certain position? It's different for each position what you have to deal with. So it's not as simple as just, oh, they're from such and such a college, fill in the blank. You know,
Hmm.
yes, you look at the SEC first and you look at the ACC first. You look at the Big Ten first because those are the major ones. Then you start going down the ladder and you say, hold up a minute. Why is there a guy from Holy Cross sitting there in the fourth round?
Right, right.
Why is he ranked so high? That's when you start really scouting because that makes you go, okay, I need to look at these numbers. And from there on, you find a hidden gem. So for me, it's more about the stats and the measurables and what your team is looking for.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Um,
Um,
let's see.
and
Uh,
as far as the records go, it's totally different when you're looking at the records in the NFL rather than college.
yeah, yeah,
College wise, you're going to have half your schedule is just trash teams, fill in teams. So your record is going to look better, with those teams. But how do you do against major opponents? You know,
yeah.
so
Um,
it's kind of inflated in that way. But the NFL, every team is dangerous,
yeah, and
every one of them, in
that's
their own way.
let's see. Kevin says I like our revivers too. They are good, but defense needs some work. Damien says I think if schools can beat the top big college in each conference, and if you beat the military schools like the Air Force, Navy, etc., you should automatically get in the playoffs. Interesting.
Mm, I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. Nobody really pays attention to the special forces teams because that's a weaker conference. There's nobody in that conference really that really poses a threat to anybody.
I mean, the Army Navy game is always entertaining.
It's always the special forces, and then there's everybody else.
Yeah,
You see what I mean? Like there's nobody else to entertain you in that conference. It's always Army, Navy, and
A-
whatever else.
Air Force.
Air Force, yeah. And Air Force is rarely ever uh good. It's always been Army and Navy.
Yeah,
And this is one of those rare years where they're both ranked actually, which is
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah, very. Um, Kevin says you're right. If you win, you are in the playoffs. He also says Dabo might have paid them off.
Oh,
uh,
no, come on now.
I
Don't
think
start that.
I think that was just a friendly shot. Uh,
Don't do that.
Forest City Kitty says, as a Panthers fan, a successful season is probably 5 wins now. Oof. We'll get past
For
there.
for this year, for this year, I would say yes and maybe no.
Fair.
I It depends on what you're trying to do. If you're targeting a specific player, at 3, then a successful year would be sitting at the 3 spot in the draft order. So you could go get that player. But while still showing everybody, yes, we have this caliber of talent. Yes, we can compete with everybody that we play against for 4 whole quarters and
Yeah.
put up games like we did against KC, Philly, and Tampa Bay. But
Yeah.
if you're trying to win a game and show people, yeah, we're definitely not a doormat. We can actually win a game with this talent, which is our next goal right now, I think.
Right.
Then you can settle for a 5th draft spot and still find somebody really, really good up there, but you'd miss out on one player, maybe 2 on your board. Um, I doubt you miss on both, but you miss on one of the 2, your top 2, to do that. But it does send a message to the rest of the league that yes, we can actually win that game, and we're not doormats. We're actually trying to rebuild, and we actually have some talent. And we're just trying to fill in the gaps.
There you go.
So
Um.
it depends on what you're trying to do.
Yeah. Ultimately, it depends on what you're trying to do.
Yeah,
Kevin says, I really wish the Panthers had Puka Nuka from the Rams. He's incredible. Yes, he is. And then they
yeah,
started naming schools. Damien said App State. Kevin said Eastern Washington University, where Cooper Cup came from. And then
yeah,
never heard of the school. Coastal Carolina is pretty small, but Josh Norman was from there. Yep.
yep.
Um.
They also won the college baseball championship too,
Oh
a
yeah.
handful of years back.
Oh, I did hear about that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Aiden Danielson, welcome to the stream. He says, "Do you think the NBA season is boring now?" Hey, I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan. They're the 4th seed in the West. I'm not bored.
I don't keep up with the NBA.
I mean, at the same time, 82 games is a lot to keep up with. Let's not kid ourselves. I
That's fair.
I don't care, NBA fan or not. 82 games is a lot to keep up with in a season.
Yeah,
Just
that's
saying.
that's honestly fair. The typical baseball season is 162 games or something like that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but kudos to the fans that can do it.
Yeah.
I give y'all mad props.
Mm-hmm.
But I try to catch a Mavericks game whenever it's on TV. I try to catch it, and then come playoff time, you
Makes
know.
it fun for fantasy, I would imagine. Keeps you busy.
Yeah,
I've
but
done fantasy football for ESPN, and I've done Major League Baseball fantasy as well. That's fun. I've met some great people through that. Some
uh,
Mets fans and people like that. So wonderful
right.
people.
But so tips to defeat Arizona. To be honest with you, stop the run, contain Kyler Murray, and I think for the most part we should be good, if you ask me.
Shout out to Real Sunchild. Appreciate you being in chat.
What's up? Keep
How's it
pounding.
going, buddy?
Keep pounding.
Um, I haven't seen him in a couple of weeks, but he's back. Um, Play Carolina Panthers football for 4 quarters. Match up to Arizona like we did with KC, Philadelphia, and Tampa Bay. It really does start with that. And then you start working on the fundamentals, the mechanics, things of that nature. Um, I tried to do a film study stream and didn't get very far. I got hit with copyright, which is
Ah,
a shame.
bummer.
Yeah, but I was starting to point out a few of those things, that we were doing right um, during the Philadelphia game that
Right.
caught my attention. When you have the correct guard pulls, when you have the correct footwork, you have the correct hands, you know what you're supposed to be doing, you know, and you execute well, then the rest of the team will follow.
Yeah. Uh,
And one of the things that I pointed out was pass deflections
yes.
by a corner, one on one with the corner. And I was pointing out JC Horn specifically. So this was a hook route on the outside. And for those of you that don't know what a hook route is, you go out and you hook back around as a wide receiver. You turn around and expect the ball, right? So the defender will play back about 5 yards back, and sometimes they'll come up and they'll wrap up the tackle,
Hmm.
or sometimes they will come up and they will knock down the ball. It depends. Some corners are more aggressive than others. Some are more concerned about not getting a flag for pass interference.
Which is fair.
Yeah, it is fair, but it it's such a 50-50 rule, really, to be honest with you, because it could go either way. It's to the ref's discretion whether they want to throw the flag or not.
Hmm.
That's what I've noticed over the years, and we really need to redefine that and be very, very specific with the parameters of that, with the rule book.
Right.
Because as of lately, everybody just thinks, okay, well, either I'm just going to be ballsy and just go for it, or I'm going to respect the rule book way too much and be afraid of getting a flag and hurting my team. And both are bad. You know what I mean?
Yes. Um, Forest City Kitty says, I think the NBA and Major League Baseball are super hard to keep up with. Facts.
They
Hopefully,
can be.
hopefully our defense will show up and clip the Cardinals' wings. Indeed. They better.
Yeah. So on the particular play I was showing, J.C. Horn comes up,
Uh-huh.
anticipates the throw going to the wide receiver, and closes that gap and knocks the ball down. Gets his hand in front of the wide receiver and knocks it down.
Hmm.
And that's what I need to see more of. When you're looking at wide receivers versus corners one on one, or even just safeties one on one versus somebody, I need to see more of that. That is aggressive, knocking the ball down, do it legally, understand the technique, understand how to do it, and close the gap if you've got the speed to do it. Be more aggressive. Stop playing this zone defense garbage. Get up there and knock the ball down. I'm not seeing enough of that.
Right.
There's not enough pass deflections, and it's pissing me off because that's the next level of our defense is pushing for those pass deflections, risking the biscuit, as far as the flag is concerned.
Right.
You know, I'm a lot more forgiving about that than most people are because I understand how 50-50 that is and how bullcrap the refs are about that, you know. But most people aren't. Like they'll blame you for getting a flag drawn on you. And it's complete garbage. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather see you try to knock a ball down than not do it at all and just sit there and give up 7 yards
Right.
when you don't need to be giving up 7 yards. You know, yes, you stopped the yak, but did you get the ball knocked down? Did you force a second down and 10 situation?
Right. Right.
That's what I need to see. If you are starting to force those situations, you're doing things right. You're taking that defense to the next level.
We need to force a lot of those.
Yeah. And a lot of these cases, there'll be third down situations too. and we'll just allow the catch and we'll just allow the first down. And it's just like, stop playing soft defense.
We play too much zone.
Stop playing soft zone. Like, there's your problem. Evero, care to explain to me why Fuller is 1-on-1 versus their number one wide receiver?
Oh yeah, he had no business on CD Lamb. I don't know what the heck was
There's
up
the
with
other
that.
problem, matchups. I've been noticing that over and over and over again as I've been reviewing the games. And I've got NFL Plus, so I can go back and watch the replays, full replays now.
Right.
And I've been noticing that over and over and over again. I've been seeing the bullcrap matchups, and I'm like, Evero, really? This is why people are questioning you, dude. Stop doing that. If you don't have enough sense to stop doing that, then we're going to have to find a new defensive coordinator that will stop doing that. Because I can't. This 3-4 experiment is not working. It was not working when Phil Snow came through here, and it's still not working now.
Yeah, I can't stand the 3-4. I've never been a fan of the 3-4.
And granted, yeah, half the problems of Xavier Woods are the fact that he is just out of position because you're putting him in the wrong position. The other half of it is him, specifically him, not having the stones to match up 1-on-1 versus a running back, not having the stones to figure out where he's supposed to be in the end zone.
Right.
And I'm like, really? That's what I get pissed off at Woods, because that's the stuff I've been noticing. Everybody wants to give me crap for it, and I'm like, and make up excuses for that. And I'm like, no, stop it. Now, if you've got a legitimate excuse, as far as him being out of position, okay, Evero's fault.
Totally.
Yeah, that one I'll buy. And I started buying that, after I kept watching um, the KC game, the Eagles game, and the Buccaneers game. That's when I started to really buy that argument. Because before that point, I was just like, no, he just doesn't know where he's supposed to be. And I watched that, and everybody else is doing everything they're supposed to be doing. And even at that point, he's still out of position. And I'm like, Evero, care to explain this one? Because
What's
I
he gonna
don't
do?
get it. I don't get it, Evero.
I don't get it either.
Like, does he play good? Is he a good enough defensive coordinator, to uh, do what he's supposed to be doing? Yes. But is he a good 3-4 defensive coordinator? Yes. But is he the 3-4 defensive coordinator that we need? No.
Yeah,
There's the
it's.
problem. He did produce a top 10 defense last year
Hmm.
through the 3-4, but we had the personnel for that. Now we don't.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like we do. That's for sure.
Now
Especially.
we don't. And I feel like we should be switching to a 4-3, because that level of talent is what it takes to get it done. Everybody else is a 4-3 out there. Find me a 3-4 defense anymore. Even the Jets switched back to a 4-3. There
Yeah,
was a
that they
coach that
did.
went up to New York
That they did.
that actually changed them back to a 4-3.
Yep, I did hear
And
about
they've
that.
been 3-4 for years. And they've been trash as a 3-4 defense.
Yeah, well, then Jets they got a ways to go. It seems they got a long ways to go.
Every single set of coaches they brought in have failed up in New York because they don't know what they're doing. Nobody could resurrect that team. Nope, still nobody could resurrect that team.
Right.
As a matter of fact, there was a Jeopardy question. When was the
Yeah.
last time you saw the Jets go to the Super Bowl?
Maybe I was born. Maybe not.
And the answer is before Neil Armstrong got put on the moon.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. It's been that long.
It's wild.
That is wild, dude.
Very much so.
And, it's just been a string of horrendous management over the years. Horrible contracts, everything that you can imagine in New York. And I could not imagine being a Jets fan right now. I just could not imagine it.
Oh,
Y'all got some stones, man.
I have a friend of
I
mine that's
respect it.
a friend of mine that's a Jets fan that I used to work with, and yeah,
If you're still showing your colors and you're a Jets fan out there, respect to you.
right.
Major respect to you. And to the Cleveland Browns fans too, because they've dealt with so much crap too in their organization.
Yes,
And
they
I thought
have.
I thought under Baker Mayfield they were finally starting to turn things back around. And then right back to Pound Town again
Yep.
in L Town. I was like, oh God. It's like as soon as Baker left, it just went right back to heck. I was like, come on, man. So it's and the thing that most of those teams had in common is they have switched from the 3-4 to the 4-3 years ago. The Jets just now switched back to a 4-3
Yeah.
just recently. So I'm like, oh my God. You know,
What can they do? It's
and
crazy.
we still have not learned our lesson yet. We are still a 3-4. Why?
Why? I have no idea. But it is not working out for us, that's for sure.
Well, I'll say this: if we're gonna fire coaches this year, I think it needs to be assistant coaches. Keep the primary ones up there. I like Dan. I like Dave. I like. I'm willing to be lenient on both the offensive and defensive line coaches because we have not had the personnel.
Right, right.
You know, I'm not going to complain about that. So I'm willing to give both of them another year because we did eventually fix the offensive line. Remember that?
Yeah,
So
that we did.
I'm giving the offensive line coach the benefit of the doubt. Let's let him stay. Um, Quarterback coach, let him stay. Um, Wide receiver coach, question mark.
Right.
We'll get back to that. Um, Linebackers coach. hmm, That's the whole matter of do we have the personnel or not, and there's a big question mark there because we're still not 100% sure because we're still evaluating that.
Right, right.
Secondary coach. mm, Same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah. So realistically, the only major coach that I would fire at the end of the year is probably going to be the offensive coordinator. And
Oh,
the reason why is because he has basically become a figurehead.
oh, you're talking about Brad Isdick?
Yeah. We don't know who's truly calling these plays, whether it be Dave or Brad. If it legitimately is Brad during the time that we were doing well, okay, he can stay. But if he is not, then he is pointless. There's no reason why he is here
I see.
because that's strike two for me. Strike one was almost giving up the entire house on what we were doing in the draft last year.
Oh yeah, I remember that. He did kind of
He almost gave up the entire draft strategy.
do a little hint, hint, wink, wink.
Yeah, it's like we might be going quarterback. It's like, dude, shut up.
Yeah, it's like you saying too much now.
Stop talking. You know what I'm saying? Like Somebody get this mic away from that man. Oh
Yeah, you
God,
just
man.
said a little.
There's a reason why he hasn't been involved in press conferences this year.
Yeah, you just said a little too much. Said a little too much.
And I think everybody recognized it in the front office, and even Tepper was just like, "Can you put a leash on your dog?" Because this is not it. Because if we have to do this every year, uh-uh. No, just because he's your buddy doesn't mean we can't put a leash on this dog and we can't take the mic away from him. You know? And if that's all that he's doing is just like speaking to the public or not speaking to the public, what is he actually doing here? What is his purpose? Like,
Well,
if he's actually coming up with stuff that's helping Dave call these plays, okay, we can talk about that. Let's have a conversation about that. What is he finding out? What is he contributing? Because otherwise, if he's not contributing anything, he needs to go. And we need to bring in an offensive coordinator that really, really works with Dave, with the RPO system in the West Coast offense to make a difference.
there you
It
go.
has to be a happy marriage. If it isn't a happy marriage, we're shooting ourselves in the foot again, which is not unusual for the Panthers to do. But if like I say, we find the person that is the perfect marriage to work with Dave, then we have something big going on here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the start of something huge. And I just heard about a week and a half ago that a certain offensive coordinator that was an offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs got fired
Oh, interesting.
in college. So he is available. But does he run the RPO or West Coast offense? No. Now here's the other thing. You may have a snowball's chance in hell of going after Ben Johnson.
Mm, I'd be
But I think he stays in Detroit.
Yeah, I think so too, to be honest with you.
There's not enough draw for him to come down here.
Agreed.
When he's already having success up there, he's not going to have an opportunity to upgrade, and try to go for a head coaching job. So the key thing here is he's not going to want to come here.
I would agree. I would agree.
So who else does that leave? I don't know. That's the biggest question is I don't know. Surely somebody on that free agent couch of coaching, of coordinators, runs the system we do, and it happens to be the right fit. And I don't know who that might be. So I think we're gonna have to go digging for that for right now.
Probably.
Um, but as of right now, I'm okay with Brad being here as long as you don't give him a microphone during draft time
Mm,
and during regular season, and you let Dave do his thing. You know what I mean?
fair enough.
For now, it's fine. You know, I don't see any reason to fire him unless we absolutely need to. But
That's fair.
if you're gonna fire people because of our record, then it needs to be assistant coaches
Yeah. Oh,
for now.
Poppy Seed says, "What's up? Keep pounding, crew. Congrats on 600 Oh, you hit 600 subs. Nice.
Yes, sir, I did. Thank you very much. And that's just as much of a win for me as it is for you and everybody else here. We all work together to get that. And it's all you guys. You guys hit the subscribe button. You guys joined in, you stuck around and it really says a lot when we have these people sticking around and listening to what we have to say and not going anywhere, you know,
Yep.
because it means they value what we have to say and are willing to spend that time and effort to listen to us, for a significant amount of time that we're doing these streams. And these streams get long too, by the way.
Yeah,
So
that
respect to that, to the people that stick it out through the VODs, and use this during work time and whatever else. So I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you so much for all the views and all the subs and all the follows. We're where are we out on Facebook? It's got to be a big number now. My goodness. Let me check.
yeah, go for it.
11.9 thousand members.
Dang,
My goodness. Oh my word.
and growing.
I'm stunned. Every time I look on here and I see this number, and I'm not even paying attention to the number, I'm paying attention to you, and the people that come through. You know,
Yeah,
I care more about y'all than I care about the numbers.
right.
It's who's here, and the types of people that are sticking around. That's what matters to me. Because we're trying to build a culture here. We're trying to build a kind, considerate culture, and have people around that really, really do care about what we're trying to do. And I feel like we've achieved that. We're still achieving that. And it's thanks to you, all of you who are paying attention and listening and checking out streams and sticking around and doing all what you do. Thank you so much, man. It
Pre
means the world to me.
Appreciate y'all. Yeah.
Do I still stream to the Facebook or not? Not lately, no. It's been quite a while. What I've noticed is Facebook keeps taking down my content, so I'm like, you know, and it was mostly gaming content anyway. So, um, I'm not multi-platform like everybody else is. I mainly just stick to one platform, and that's usually about it. So when it comes to Panthers content, I'll go to YouTube. When it comes to gaming content, I was doing Twitch, but now I'm sticking to YouTube for right now because I've noticed a bigger response to that on YouTube
Right.
than over there. Um, but that's really what it is. It's the fact that Facebook keeps taking down my content and it pisses me off. So I'm like, nah, no, let's take it to YouTube. You know?
Hey, you got to do what you got to do
Yeah, I might do some
to
rebranding
to
with that Shadow
survive.
Warrior gaming channel, you know what I mean? On Facebook.
Gotta survive.
Because it seems to be working on YouTube. So
Oh, that's good.
yeah, a little bit of rebranding might be necessary there. I don't mind it.
Um, so I wanted to get a chance to cuz I can't be on too long, but I
Hmm.
wanted to get a chance to do the request you had, score prediction and um overall scores across the NFL because it's coming down to the
Yeah,
wire. It's
yeah,
it's coming down to the wire with the season, so yeah, it's gonna
yeah.
be quite interesting. But score prediction for this Cardinals game. You know what? I
It depends on what Panthers team shows up.
I got a feeling it's not gonna be high scoring. I'm gonna say 14-10 Carolina.
Hmm. Okay, for me, it depends on which Panthers team shows up. If we're talking about the Panthers team that played KC, Philly, and Tampa Bay, then we're looking at like 24 points for us. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Um, so it would look more like 24-17, most likely. If not, then you're dealing with um probably 17-14 Cardinals.
Oh, okay. Right on, right on.
It depends on which Panthers team shows up.
This is very
Because
detailed, but understandable.
Cardinals would have the control of the game for quite a while, and then we would get a garbage time 7 points, you know,
Yes.
off their nickel defense in fourth quarter. So that's really what that would look like.
Ah, I see.
And that would include maybe a couple of turnovers in there too.
Yeah, yeah, that's a fair point. But which hopefully we can get some of those, you know, to help win the game. And
Yeah.
yeah, should be good. Should be really good. Um, let's see. Okay. Um, and like I said, last home game of the season. So Carolina, what y'all gonna do?
Yeah.
Shoot. Now, as far as scores for the week, okay, first off, we've already had a handful of games, which I did not realize they had two games today, Saturday.
Yeah, I didn't either.
But we know
I
this.
can tell you who I would have picked.
Yeah. We had a pretty back and forth game this Thursday between the Broncos and Chargers, which the Chargers were able to edge out the victory, but that was a pretty back and forth game.
As far as the Chargers in Denver, I believe I probably would have chosen the Chargers
Uh huh.
in that win. Um, they are looking for a reason to get back into the race for a wild card, and
Yeah,
Denver has kind of been slacking a little bit.
they have.
They're starting to downtrend, so I'm not surprised to see that happen. Um, so that's kind of that game. Um,
Yeah. Saturday or today we had, despite the Texans clinching their division, Chiefs get another victory over them, 27-19 to move to 14-1.
that doesn't surprise me either. And again, this is under 10 points. This is another KC game under 10 points.
Yeah.
It's a pattern, folks.
It is crazy that they're 8-0 at home though.
That
Like,
is wild.
yeah. And also shout out to Tank Dell. Really
Well,
prayers up for Tank Dell, y'all. Like that
right.
that
Mm-hmm.
was that
Prayers
was
up.
a nasty, like,
That was horrible.
I mean, he
I
had a
saw the video clip of it.
he had a dislocated kneecap. Ugh.
Yeah, jeez, man.
And it looked nasty.
Oof.
So prayers up for Tank Dell. Hopefully,
Ah, I felt that, man. I felt, God.
yeah, that's a huge blow, especially considering they've secured a playoff spot. So
If you've ever watched one of the Saw movies and watched them like dislocate like some of their elbows and stuff like that, that's what it looked like. In case anybody missed it,
yeah, just
I
in the
was like, God bless, man.
yeah, just in the kneecap this time, and that's just
Oh my God, man, that's horrible.
yeah.
I
So
didn't watch the game, but I saw the video clip. It's viral.
yeah, like I saw the clip as well. It was nasty.
Hmm. Prayers up, man.
Prayers up,
Hoping for a really good recovery there. And
indeed. And then the Ravens punched a playoff spot with a victory over the Steelers, 34-17.
mm-hmm. um, Pittsburgh really put up a really good fight. I was doing a dual reaction, mostly focused on the Clemson game, but I was watching the Ravens game as well, to
Yeah,
see what was going on over there. And it was a battle, man.
and
It was a straight battle.
yeah, for
I
sure.
warned y'all about how dangerous Baltimore is in their own building during this time of year. I warned y'all. Some of
Yeah,
y'all didn't listen, but I warned y'all. This is a very, very potent playoff team right here
yeah. But then
when
again,
they're fighting for a spot.
but they then again back to the Lamar Jackson haters. Oh, he's just a running back. He's just a running back behind center. Okay, tell that to the 207 yards pass, three passing touchdowns. Yeah, yeah,
Right. Exactly. Like the dude is every bit as dangerous as everybody else thinks he is.
yeah. I mean, the dude's a two-time NFL MVP. Come on now.
Yeah, for a reason. I was watching a little bit of Pittsburgh's offense, and I noticed Russell Wilson paying attention before pre-snap, and he was shifting people around, and he says, "Hold up, wait a minute. There's 7 or 8 people in the box. Audible, audible, audible. Shift around, shift around, shift around." And guess what? Wide open running back to the left side.
Yikes.
And I was like, now that is NFL experience right there. And I said, hold up now. Y'all threw my opinions under the bus when I said go get Russell Wilson. No, this dude is highly intelligent and he knows what he's doing. I like Russell Wilson. And this would be his second loss under Pittsburgh. They don't completely run the RPO. And that's why he isn't getting the total amount of success that he should be getting.
Hmm.
However, I did warn y'all that if this man finds what he's looking for with an RPO system and he's got the weapons he needs and the protection he needs, look out because here comes Russell Wilson comeback party.
Yeah.
I warned y'all, did I not? There it is in Pittsburgh right now. Look at that Pittsburgh record. You think that's a fluke?
Uh,
Ladies
mi-
and gentlemen, do you think that's a fluke? I don't.
no, not at all. Um,
Justin Fields didn't get that for you. Russell did.
Mr. Gemini, welcome to the stream. He says, "Y'all think we are gonna run the ball tomorrow? We better run the mess out of that ball
Mm,
tomorrow. We better."
bro, how many times did we carry the ball in this last game?
16,
16 times.
and 10 of them were Chuba.
16 times.
Yeah, that's not
You trying to tell me that you're gonna be doubly committed to the run? Oh, I'm gonna run the ball. I'm gonna run the ball. I'm gonna run the ball. I'm gonna never stop running the ball. Come on, Dave. Who are you trying to fool right now? You
right.
yourself or I? Because we ain't buying it, bro. 16 carries? Oh, but I'm gonna run the ball. I'm gonna do this. Stop it. Stop it. I
Yeah,
never liked that line to begin with. Because first of all, when you're running a West Coast offense, it needs to be balanced.
right.
If
But
you're running a true West Coast, it needs to be balanced. You can run a 60-40 where you focus on the run, you know, percentage wise, but traditionally it's balanced. Everything that North ran back in San Diego was balanced. Now, yes, you do have the advanced version of West Coast, which includes the RPO.
right.
That's why that has become 60-40, and that's fine. That's become NFL wide accepted. But typically, it needs to be balanced at least somewhat. Not, oh, I'm going to be extra committed to the run. I'm going to run. I'm going to run. I'm going to run. Okay, well, this isn't the old days of John Fox, bro. You got to stop with this. And that offensive coordinator was awful because this man would call a draw play every first down,
Oh yeah.
every single time. And it drove me absolutely up the wall. I wasn't even a full-fledged football fan at that point. I understood the basics things, and I had my team that I was rooting for, and I was like, yeah, you can run the ball, you can pass the ball, John Madden stuff, you know. And I was like, okay, I understand basic stuff.
Yeah.
Even I understood that that was garbage. Come on now.
Mi- Mr. Gemini says we pay Chuba and we go away from the run too early. Yep.
Exactly. What, y'all afraid to get Chuba hurt again? Come on, man.
Yeah, he says we are as always built on the run and play defense. True.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
And that's never going to change. We're 60-40 run percentage, and that's not going to change. Whether that looks like the RPO or not on the West Coast or not. You know, but end of the freaking day, you got to be able to do both. If you're one
Exactly.
dimensional, you are screwed. I understand this is a run heavy NFL, but it's also a pass heavy NFL too.
That is correct.
So you can't just do one and expect to win a Super Bowl. You can't just run the ball constantly and expect to win a Super Bowl. It doesn't work like that. You can't
Right.
just pass the ball because people will just put everybody back. They won't even pressure you. They'll just take away your options. If you're going to be run heavy, they're just going to load the box, as evidenced by Matt Rule, the year of Matt Rule. I mean, come on.
Yikes.
Matt Rule, anybody? That was horrendous. Everybody knew we were running the ball. Everybody. And their grandma knew we were running the ball.
Sad, isn't it?
Even a 10-year-old that just played Madden for the first time knew we were running the ball. It was pathetic. So, we've gone from now that to, yeah, we have an offensive game plan. It's working now. So let's not deviate from it. Let's not go away from what worked, and say, nah, we just want a draft pick. And I'm starting to wonder, is that the conversation that they had in that front office? Like, what's the best way to make sure that we get a top 5 pick? Ooh, I know. Hey, Brad Isaac, calling on you. Let's do exactly what we were doing at the beginning of the year. Yeah. Brilliant idea. Brilliant idea. This is what happens when you listen to Brad Isaac.
Mr. Gemini says it's like the Hornets. They shoot threes like they're the Celtics when they're not when that's not their identity. Yeah,
Exactly.
pretty much.
Exactly. Why are we going and pulling a 180 from our identity? Why? It makes zero sense. Why mess with something that works? And it frustrated me to no end.
Yeah, for reals. But hopefully hopefully that won't be an issue this time. That better not be an issue this time.
I'm perfectly okay with taking an L, at this point in the season when we don't even need one. But this is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Pulling a total 180 and just doing the same things you were doing before, same exact problems. Like, there's something going on here. There's something fishy going on here, man. It doesn't sit well with me. It hasn't been sitting well with me all week. And I'm like, I have nothing for you. This is one of the few times I have nothing for you to answer that question. You want to get answers? Go inside the front office and become a fly, I guess. I don't know.
There you go.
You got me, man. Unless they're being paid off for some conspiracy theory. But I don't know. But you give me 4 whole quarters and you take an L. I'm okay with it. I'm satisfied with it.
Hmm. Fair point. Fair point. But yeah, let's see.
But
So
yeah, I did see that Pittsburgh did play a pretty good game, and don't distrust Baltimore in their own building.
yeah,
This time of year, I told you, don't underestimate them.
so now let's get into the Sunday games and the Monday game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Eagles at Commanders.
For me, Eagles, but any given Sunday, as far as Washington is concerned,
I think Washington will put up a decent fight, but
yeah.
I'm gonna go well. And then I know the Eagles have kind of had their issues, but they still been able to win games. So I'm gonna say Eagle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say Eagles as well. Um, Giants at Falcons.
Falcons. This is a winnable game for Atlanta
Yeah, it this should be a given for the Falcons.
and a recovery game for them. They need it
Yeah,
if they want to be taken seriously in the wild card hunt.
exactly. Uh, oh dear. Lions at Bears.
Lions easily.
Yeah, I just think I know the
This
Lions.
might be their lazy game, actually.
Yeah, I know the Lions lost their previous game, but I mean, still, I mean, Jared Goff threw 5 touchdown passes, so I mean,
Yeah,
let's not
yeah.
kid ourselves. But yeah. Let's see. Browns at Bengals.
Uh, I gotta go Bengals.
Same. I just think, despite the record, that the Bengals are still, the much stronger team than the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Titans at Colts.
And this is one of those games I was paying attention to because of where the Titans are on the draft order.
Hmm.
Let me see if Tankathon has updated because I need to know what we're dealing with here. Okay, Titans are sixth as of currently.
Hmm.
No, no, no. That's through 14. That's through 14 weeks, right?
Yes.
It's 3-11. We're at week 15, right?
We're at week 15.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's updated. All right, so um now the reason I bring this up is because Tennessee and Jacksonville are going to be playing each other next week. Week 17. That week 17 matchup is going to have everything to do with our draft pick positioning. If Jacksonville should win that game, that puts us at 4 at that point.
Okay. Yeah.
And if we lose out, we retain 4 spot, depending on what the Raiders do. The Raiders could win one more game. There's a possibility of that. which would put everybody up and move us up to 3. I don't see the Giants winning another game. I don't see New England winning another game. So we would be sitting there at 3. That's what I'm hoping will happen. Now, the reason this Titans team is becoming something to pay attention to is because of that.
I see.
This could be an upset potentially because Indianapolis hasn't exactly been doing real well as of lately.
Oh, I see.
So when you look at the Colts, yeah, they just lost big time to the Broncos. They barely got a win over the Patriots, and they got blown up on the Lions.
Dang.
Barely beat the Jets. Lost by 10 to the Bills. And before that, you got a big loss to the Vikings and a loss to the Texans. That's been their recent production lately.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. You barely get a scrape win against the Dolphins without Tua. You get a scraped out win against the Titans earlier in the year, 20-17 in Tennessee. So honestly, I could somehow see this going the other way because you got AR starting this game, right?
That is a good question.
Who are they
Um,
starting this game? Because if it's Flacco, then Flacco gives you a win over the Titans. If it's AR, then this could be a 50-50 game. In favor still of the Colts, but barely.
so let's see.
So it's going to be a major factor with that.
So it's AR.
Okay, so AR is starting.
Yes,
Now this game just became a major factor for us. We need to pay attention to this one for the draft order.
I see.
If the Titans win this game, the Colts will drop back, to about 10 area.
Hmm.
And it gets the Titans off of our neck, in the top 5 area.
I see.
Because right now they're breathing down our neck. They've got 6. So then the next concern would be Cleveland. And right now, I don't see Cleveland doing anything from anything. So they'll probably sit up there in the 5 or 6 spot below us. But we need to get Tennessee off our backs, though, man. This is a big one, and we need Jacksonville to beat Tennessee in Week 17 in order to secure a spot in the top 4. That's big. That's if we lose all our games and we're sitting up there,
Hmm.
which is very, very likely. The Raiders. Let me see who the Raiders actually play because the
Uh,
Raiders will be the next problem.
the Jaguars.
Uh, they could actually beat the Jaguars. They could beat the Jaguars. Let's not get it twisted, folks. They could beat the Jags. That one could go 50-50. So that's a major one right there. Who else do they play? Let me see. Okay. Jags, Saints, Chargers. Okay, so this is the Raiders' one chance to get out of that number 1 seed.
Hmm.
that number one pick right now. Pick one, round one. If the Raiders are smart, they'll lose all three of these games. But again, it's the Raiders. They
I
haven't
see.
been shown to be the smartest group out there right now. They just fired their GM. They just fired their head coach. I don't know anything about the people that are taking over. So this could be real interesting very quickly. Um, so I suggest we pay attention to that game as well. Uh, that's going to be a 425. You know what? If yeah, they're going to show that on CBS. I'm going to dual react to that. Let's dual react to that.
Interesting.
Um, now what's going on with this Titans game? When is this?
This Sunday. This
Okay, that's 1 o'clock game. Gotcha. Okay, so we'll just keep an eye on the score of that Titans Colts game and just watch closely and see what happens.
hmm
But the focus will be on the Panthers, of course. We'll be reacting to that first. But I might just do a dual react stream with the Raiders game. It depends if I'm blacked out for that game or what. But if I am, then I'll just focus on Panthers content, and we'll go from there, post game content.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And we'll track the game on ESPN,
Fair
but
enough.
with a close eye on it. Because we do need to know what's going on with that. But as far as the Colts over the Titans, I could see the Colts winning that game. But
Same.
with AR, man, dang it, man. Without Derrick Henry, I mean, the Titans are done. They lost DeAndre Hopkins. They lost Derrick Henry. Everybody that's good is gone from Tennessee now.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Kind of screwed.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go Colts on that one.
Same. Yeah, I think it's definitely.
Which it I'm gonna root for the Titans. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna root for the Titans. But if the Colts win, I'm not gonna be surprised. Because we need the Titans off our necks on the draft order.
Fair point.
Yep.
Okay. Rams at Jets.
Rams at Jets. That's a tough one. I gotta go Rams. The
Yeah.
Jets still haven't figured it out yet. Aaron Rodgers is still repeatedly frustrated. He got his laundry list of players and he still sucks.
True.
They fired the GM, they fired the head coach, and they still suck. I mean, what else do you want? It's the Jets.
That
Rodgers,
is
you put yourself in that situation. I don't know why, but you did that for some mundane reason.
crazy,
You
isn't
didn't
it?
have to sign the contract, buddy. You could have gone somewhere with some talent. Just saying. But you chose there and you're reaping the results of it. So I have nothing for you, Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
You did that to yourself. That's a career killer.
Let's see. I'm going Jets, or excuse me, Rams. I'm going Rams.
Rams. Yeah.
Vikings at Seahawks.
I'm going to go Vikings. Seahawks really need to try to win this game to show everybody that they can be a contender, but they're not going to be able to prove it,
Mm,
unfortunately. Uh, you look at their 8-6 record. I mean, it's decent, but what have they really accomplished?
Right.
You did get a win over the Cardinals. A big win over the Cards. The
True. True.
Jets, meh. You swept the Cardinals. So okay, cool. You deserve to be where you are, second spot, cool. But now you got to get past the Rams in order to get the division, which is the last game of the season.
Right.
Um, you swept the 49ers. No, you split with the 49ers. So, I mean, not impressively either when you did get the win in San Francisco. So, I mean, you beat the Falcons. I'll give you that one.
True. True.
Yeah. Um, Lost big to the Lions, beat the Dolphins in convincing fashion, beat the Patriots by 3 points, beat the Broncos before they started getting on a run. But I mean, it's not impressive. You're not really going to go anywhere, even if you do get a wild card somehow miraculously. I just don't see it. Although I give full credit to Geno Smith with the 3,623 yards this year.
Yes.
Heck of a freaking year, man. 14 touchdowns for this dude, man.
Agreed.
Never mind the quarterback rating. Ignore that. Focus on everything else. Dude's a baller. And they would be idiots to let go of Geno and let him walk
Yep.
at this point. And if they are idiots, we'll take him. I'll gladly put in my 2 cents and say Geno all the way. I will push for Geno because we're not getting Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's not leaving Pittsburgh. Not after that performance up there. So Geno's my next one.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And also shout out to Jackson Smith Nigma too. 994 yards and 5 touchdowns. Crazy year for him.
Right. Yeah, he's been doing well.
Yeah, I like that dude. Former Pittsburgh Steeler. But yeah, I don't see Seattle pulling this off. I just don't.
I mean, they might put up a little something something, but nah, I think
Nah, it won't be enough.
yeah, I think the Vikings still take it.
Keep in mind the Vikings are 5-1 on the road.
True.
So that's something to understand here too. And this is in Seattle.
Yep. So yeah, I too am going Vikings. Uh this
All
next
right.
this next one should be really simple. Patriots at Bills.
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 I
Yeah.
mean, it's obvious at this point. Bills.
Yep. Let's see. Next, Jaguars at Raiders.
This is a big one right here. And we as Panther fans need to be rooting for the Raiders. And the reason being is because we need them knocked out of that number one seed,
Right.
that number one spot. Which is doable. I think they can beat the Jags. The Jags don't have Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is on IR.
Right.
So they do have ETN and they do have a couple of pieces, but it's nowhere near enough
Right.
to really make a push against the Raiders talent that they have. You know, And don't let that 2-12 record fool you. The Raiders do have some talent. Um, we got a taste of that against them ourselves
Yeah,
this year.
yeah, yeah, a little
Um,
taste from them.
yeah, you still got Jacoby Myers. You still got Brock Bowers is a problem.
Yes,
TMJ is a problem. He's a starting wide receiver for him, by the way.
right. Which I mean,
I'm still frustrated that we let him go,
yeah.
but whatever.
Oh,
But do we know anything about Adrian O'Connell?
oh, Aiden O'Connell. I mean,
Yeah, Aiden O'Connell. Sorry, I read that wrong. I'm
uh,
famous for doing that. I apologize.
I mean, is he? Oh yeah, I guess he would be starting, wouldn't he?
Yep. They have Aiden O'Connell. They have Desmond Ritter, Carter Bradley. I'm not even sure who that is. And Gardner Minshew is on the IR
Yeah, and I thought Desmond
for
Ritter.
the Raiders.
I thought Desmond Ritter played the last game that they played, which was against the Falcons. Yeah.
Aiden O'Connell is 4 touchdowns, 3 picks, 40.3 quarterback rating, 899 yards. Yikes. The dude is from Purdue, fourth round pick for the Raiders
Hmm.
in 2023.
So let's see. Let's see.
He got 340 yards against that KC defense. That's something. That's something to shake a stick at right there. Not bad. 2 touchdowns in that game. In a 19-17 game,
Right.
not freaking bad. They bent, but they didn't break. You know, 227 against Pittsburgh's defense too,
Okay.
but the rest of the numbers are trash.
So they are saying that signs are pointing to Aiden O'Connell being the starter.
Yeah, the rest of these numbers are trash though.
Right.
The last for the other three. And he did get sacked 3 times by the KC defense.
Right.
So yeah, I can see the Raiders winning this game. This is a winnable game for them. Um, will they win it though? That's another question. That's a big question right there. Um, looking at who they have. Oh boy, who they have? Isaiah Palomeo. Ooh, interesting. They're starting him.
Oh.
Yeah. Hmm. John Jenkins. I mean, no, that defense is just not impressive name wise. You don't know any of these guys besides
Show.
Levon Chestion, maybe.
Showed
And Nate Hobbs, maybe. I know Nate Hobbs,
Nate
but
Hobbs.
yeah. Who else is here though? You don't recognize any of these names, do you?
Nope.
And that's the crazy part. They suspended Janarius Robinson. Yeah, they put Malcolm Kuntz on IR. Tamari Fox, Christian Wilkins, IR. They got a bunch of people on IR. My goodness, look at this. Max Crosby's on IR.
Yeah, which I believe he might be out for the season.
Oh my God. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people on your defense on the IR. Good God. What? That is crazy. Wow, Raiders. What in the world is going on in LA right now? Ugh. You got oh boy, 4 people on IR for the offense too, including a right guard that's doubtful. Yikes, buddy! Yikes, LA!
Yeah, they're pretty beaten up,
Oh man,
it seems.
yeah, you're not kidding. That list is getting about as long as ours is,
Yeah,
and
it's
that's saying something because we got one that even Santa Claus will be jealous of.
right.
But somehow they managed to get TMJ. That is that's very interesting. Okay. I mean, you did upgrade. You got a little bit better than Hunter Renfro, so I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But is it enough to beat the Jags? Yeah, yeah. I'll say that. I'll say I think it is. I think so. Yeah, I'll
I
go ahead and go Raiders on this one,
yeah,
but not by much.
cuz I'm not too thrilled on the idea of Mac Jones really doing any better. So,
Mm-hmm.
Raiders it is.
Yeah,
Let's
I hope they
see.
get it.
Yeah. Um all right, next up we have Niners at Dolphins.
Okay, let's see what we got here
Both
on
for
this one.
both for 6 and 8.
Yeah, this is a curious one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's see what both have been doing lately. Dolphins just came off a loss to the Texans. Yikes. Barely beat the Jets. Got trounced by the Packers. Pull out the Patriots like they should have been doing. Beat the Raiders like they should be doing. Beat the Rams. And I mean, I think it was after the Bills game that Tua came back, if I'm not mistaken. And the
Mhm.
Texans game went to heck real quick. Oof. Yikes. Um, the Niners. See what's going on with the Niners. Niners just came off a loss to the Rams. Oh God.
Oh, really?
Yep. They blew out the Bears. Lost to the Bills in a blowout. Lost to the Packers in a blowout. Lost to the Seahawks as well. And beat the Buccaneers somehow in Tampa. Beat the Cowboys as well. Um, Lost to the Chiefs by 10, as you might expect.
Ah.
Yeah. As far as the Seahawks are concerned, they split with the Seahawks. Um, the Rams, that's a sweeping loss. They lost both adventures with the Rams there. And they lost to the Vikings as well, but beat the Jets. Oh man. That 12-6 loss to the Rams. Yikes.
Yeah.
I mean, I like seeing the defense get to work there for the Niners, but which didn't happen against the Bears or the Bills game or the Packers game for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been since the Seahawks game that defense has actually gotten the job done. Before the Rams game, but their
Uh-huh.
offense just is not there. If you look at this since the Buccaneers game, you're looking at uh offensively they scored 17 against the Seahawks, they scored 10 against the Packers, 10 against the Bears, and it wasn't against the Bills. I mean, and then it wasn't until the Bears game that they finally put up 38, and
Oh,
then went right back to their non-productive ways and put 6 points up against the Rams. So this 49ers offense sucks, essentially.
dang. Well,
It is trash.
at least you're being honest.
It is straight trash. They're bottom of the NFC West in a division that nobody wants. But somehow they're still magically in it.
Yeah, that
If you could believe that.
that they are.
If you're a 49ers fan, you're like, how in the heck are we still in this? There's no way. We don't deserve to be there. Um, with Tua's offense being the way it is, he's starting, I believe. Isn't he? Tua? Yeah, he's
Yeah,
starting.
should be.
And the thing with this Dolphins team is they've got way more talent than they're showing right now. And it amazes me how they're not getting it done. It baffles me a little bit, to be real with you.
It's a
They only
lot.
put up 12 points against the Texans last week. They did put up 32 against the Jets and win. They put up 17 against the Packers and lost that game. Uh, 34 against the Patriots, 34 against the Raiders, 23 against the Rams. All right, so in games that don't matter, they put up the points. Um, but against teams that where it did matter, yeah, it wasn't there. So with the 49ers, you could say the 49ers don't matter. They're not in any wild card race at the moment. Not in any facet. So what I
So
this should be a recovery game for the Dolphins offense. I think. Um, the Niners will not be able to keep up, and that should be a win for the Dolphins.
yeah, I definitely was thinking I don't know, I just think the Niners really have just fallen off quite a bit, and I just feel like this should be one for the speaking of which, Ryan came onto the stream and said 49ers suck. Well, they could
I'm
be.
not going to say they suck. They're not the worst team.
Yeah, they're definitely not the worst team. I mean,
Right.
you know,
But offensively, that offense is trash.
I mean, let's also keep in mind that the Niners were just in the Super Bowl last season. So I mean,
They lost a lot of people too
yeah,
in that offseason. Super Bowl, super sale, is what I call it.
yeah,
Everybody gets sold off when you don't win the Super Bowl.
pretty much. Um, but you're going
Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, same. Okay, let's see. Oh, the Sunday night game, Buccaneers at Cowboys.
This is going to be an interesting one because The Cowboys just got a win off of us.
Yep.
Now, is that who Dallas really is? No. Nobody's buying it, bro. Nobody's buying it. Y'all just took a loss to the Bengals the week before. You know, you barely beat the Giants. Yeah, you did beat the Commanders 34-26. I'll give you credit for that. But in games that mattered throughout September, you
Hmm.
lost to the Lions in a blowout. You lost to the Niners already. You know, you lost to the Falcons, you lost to the Eagles in a blowout. So, I
Yep.
mean, nobody's buying the fact that this is the real Steelers team. You need to stack a win over the Buccaneers to prove that.
Right.
Otherwise, nobody's buying it, bro. And you also need a win over the Commanders for people to buy in. But nobody's buying it, bro. So, no, that's not who they really are. But the Buccaneers have a lot of talent. They just came off a 4-win streak here. Giants, Panthers, Raiders, Chargers.
Hmm.
And kudos to the Buccaneers for keeping the sweep from happening, for the Chargers, who have beaten pretty much every NFC South opponent so far, except for the Buccaneers. So
Uh,
shout out to Tampa Bay on that one.
Ryan says draft Dan Shokudino this week. It's a lot. Bro, you are nasty.
No, man. No.
Corey, you don't want to know who that is. Trust me, you do not want to know who that is.
I'm pretty sure I don't.
Yeah, trust me, you do not want to know who that is. I regret knowing who that is. It's a pro wrestler, but
Oh, okay.
not a entertaining one in a good way. Let me just leave it at that. Yeah. Um. So you're going Bucks?
I mean, the Bucks got a convincing win against the Chargers. They got a convincing win against the Raiders. And, they played well against us.
My thing
Uh,
is my thing
and a blowout against the Giants. So,
my thing is the Cowboys have a bad record at home. They're 1-6 at home.
yeah, they're horrible at home.
So it's yeah, I'm going Bucks. Even though it'd be
Bucks are
nice,
playing well.
even though it'd be nice if they lost because they're in our division. But
Mm.
I think Bucks do get the win.
Yeah, Bucks are playing well. Respect to them. They've got the talent. Let's see it.
Yeah,
Let's see them prove that they're a legitimate contender. Let's see them win out.
and then
That'll prove to me, okay, you got a shot.
yeah, and then there is the Monday nighter, which is the Saints at Packers.
This is interesting here. Um, I I'm leaning towards Green Bay.
Yeah, I am as well. I mean, don't forget Derek Carr and Alvin Kamara are out, and
Yeah,
I just think they are riddled badly with injuries that I don't think they have much of a chance. So I got to go Packers, and Packers are in good position where they could potentially um
they could make some noise in this playoffs.
yeah, So, I mean,
I'm not quite ready to say they're my dark horse, but they could make some noise.
yeah, I mean, it'd be best if they won out to really give them a shot at, getting a wild card, but
Mhm.
they're it's gonna be close, and they are a good team, so I definitely think they should have the Saints game. I think they should have the Saints game.
Yeah, that should be a Green Bay win. Um, and by the way, that marks 3 NFC North teams going to the playoffs this year.
Yeah,
Hey, Chicago, where's your playoff trip?
but as it was said, we got fleeced.
Where's your winning record? Chicago? Oh, I thought Chicago was good. Where you guys at?
Mm.
I thought that you got DJ Moore and you got Caleb Williams over there. I thought you guys were like good, man. What happened?
Oh well.
Oh well, no playoff ticket for you. You're gonna be watching from the couch.
But
Wow.
let's see. Um, you said but before I gotta get going, you said there was one thing. I think there's one thing you sent me to check out.
Yeah, I actually have two. As a matter of fact, did you see the Eric Berry one too?
The Eric Berry one.
The nah, the one
Are you talking about the 12 Days of Tepper?
that's the one we're about to do.
Okay.
Did I not send it to you? Hold up. I must have put it in the group chat. Yeah. Yeah, I put it in the group chat. All right. You gotta play this for your stream. My
Okay.
stream, I just played it for mine earlier, but I'm gonna play it again for you guys again. It's funny.
Okay. Um, let me
And
see.
there it is. I just sent it to you.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yep, about the horse. All right, so
Let me see here. Um,
which one are you doing?
I'm guessing the horse.
All right. Yeah, let me set this one up. Hold up. I gotta pause it and then put the sound on. All right. Let me know when you're ready. Mine's queued up.
Okay. 1 second. Let me move this over to here.
Please excuse the language for anybody that is about to hear this. They do mic these players up, and they do say some stuff every now and then. So if you're not about that, fair warning ahead of time.
I might need to fix my volume though because this is. Hold on. You still there?
Yeah. I'm still here.
Okay. Let me see.
I don't fool with no horses, boy.
It's 100% worth it on both of these. This is
I ain't
great.
worried about the chick. I'm worried about
Okay.
the horse.
When does it start?
There go that horse. I don't with that horse. Huh? The horse. I gotta wait till the horse passed. I don't
Just
remember
click on the
horses,
link
bro.
and then pause
Might
it
come over
right
here and throw a
away.
tantrum. Hold
Yeah.
up, Colt, that horse
Yeah.
out there. The horse.
Make sure the sound
You
is
need to
on.
go ahead with that horse now. I don't fool with no horses, boy.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
I ain't worried about the chick. I'm worried about the
All
horse.
right,
Yeah. Okay.
three, Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, hell no, they go that horse. I don't with that horse. Huh? The horse. They gotta wait till the horse pass. I don't mess with horses, bro. Might come over here and throw a tantrum. Hold up, Cole, that horse out there. The horse. She need to go ahead with that horse now. I don't fool with no horses, boy. Hell no. I ain't worried about the chick, I'm worried about the horse. Oh, hell no, they go.
Well, well, I mean, I gotta give him credit. He's being honest. I mean, he's being honest. I mean, to keep it real with you, like I mean, I've ridden a camel, I've ridden an elephant.
Oh my goodness.
I've never ridden a horse, and I have no desire to. If it's anything similar to riding a mechanical bull, because I've ridden a mechanical bull, and after I got thrown off of it, I walked for like 15 minutes, like with my legs kind of like bow-legged and wide, because my groin was killing me.
Oh, yeah, those things suck.
Yeah. So, and I mean, you approach a horse the wrong kind of way, you get kicked.
That's true, though.
So,
I'm assuming you had a really bad experience with that.
yeah, or maybe he got kicked by one, or maybe he got
Yeah,
chased
yeah,
by one. It was just,
yeah.
I mean,
Something went down between him and a horse. That's all we know.
he was pretty straightforward. It was like, no,
He was not happy about it either, man.
he's like, it's not the chick that bothers me, it's the horse.
That horse, though. That horse. Better get that horse out of here. Go on with that horse.
Hey, kudos to him. He
trying to let y'all know, man.
he had
He don't mess with no horse.
he had no shame. Yeah, he had no shame. Got to give him credit.
I don't know why, but that is just hilarious.
I mean, well played. Well played. I mean, I wouldn't mess with one either, so I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
He and Xavier Leggett need to have a conversation because Xavier Leggett is a big horse person, and I want to see how that would go.
Well, he apparently also eats raccoon. So
yeah, that would be another way that those two need to connect and have a conversation. I want to hear that conversation so bad, don't y'all? I want to see what they would say to each other. But yeah, there's your ice up moment of the week right there.
yeah, no kidding.
Ice up, son, ice up.
And then this 12 days of Tepper.
Oh yeah, here we go. This is great.
Let me see what the heck this is. Okay.
A certain person sent me this.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say the name, but somebody sent me this.
Okay.
We both know the name, so I'm not gonna say.
Fair enough.
I've got an ad.
I'm gonna probably just play the audio for this one on my end.
Okay, fair enough.
But you just let me know when.
All right, I am queued up. Shout out to 99.9 The Fan for this one. This is the Adam Gold show. So shout out to Dennis Cox in particular.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one doing this, and yeah, he does have some crazy takes every now and then about us, but respect given when things are put out like this, that it's just comedic gold. It really is. You guys are gonna love this. All right.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
On the first day of Tepper, the owner took from me our franchise's best QB.
Dang.
On the second
Sing along
day
if
of
you know it.
Tepper, the owner took from me 2 offensive studs and our franchise's best QB. On the third day of Tepper, the owner took from me 3 GMs, 2 offensive studs, and our franchise's best QB.
Well, he's not lying.
On the fourth day of Tepper, the owner took from me 4 head coaches, 3 GMs,
Oh,
2
man.
offensive studs, and our franchise's best QB.
Oh, jeez.
On the 5th day of Tepper, the owner took from me
Here we go.
Matt Rule's plan. 4 head coaches, 3 GMs,
That's
2
messed up.
offensive studs, and our franchise's best QB.
That is royally messed up. But, I
On
mean,
the
he's not
6th
wrong.
day of Tepper, the owner took from me
Yo.
6 wins with Wilkes. Matt Rule's plan.
Yeah, 6 wins.
4 head coaches, 3 GMs, 2 offensive studs, and our franchise's best QB.
Oh,
On the 7th day of Tepper, the owner took from me 7 years of losing, 6 wins with Wilkes.
ouch.
Matt
Ooh.
Rule's plan. 4 head coaches, 3 GMs, 2 offensive studs, and the franchise's best QB. On the 8th day
All right,
of
we're at 8.
Tepper, the owner took from me 8 games of Deontay, 7 years of losing, 6 wins with Wilkes. Matt Rule's
jeez.
plan.
It just gets more and
4
more
head
damaging.
coaches, 3 GMs, 2 offensive studs, and our franchise's best QB. On the 9th
This is a
day of
masterpiece.
Tepper, the owner took from
Number
me
9.
9 Andy touchdowns, 8 games of Deontay, 7
Ooh.
years of losing, 6 wins with Wilkes. Matt Rule's plan.
Rules plan.
4 head coaches, 3
That's my
GMs,
favorite
2
one.
offensive studs, and the franchise's
curious what
best
number 12
QB. On the 10th day of
at
Tepper,
10.
the owner took from me 10 QB started, 9 Andy touchdowns, 8
Ooh.
games of Deontay, 7 years of losing, 6 wins with Wilkes. Matt Rule's
Oh,
plan. 4
It's like-
head coaches,
it's like a
3
domino effect.
GMs, 2 offensive studs, and the franchise's best QB. On the 11th day of Tepper,
Oh, my
the
God.
owner took from me 11 draft picks wasted, 10 QB
Ouch!
started, 9 Andy touchdowns, 8 games of Deontay, 7 years of losing,
Dang,
6
11
wins
draft
with
picks
Wilkes.
taken.
Matt
Wasted.
Rule's plan.
Plan.
4 head coaches, 3 GMs, 2
I remember that year.
offensive
The year
studs,
that we.
and the
That's the year that we
franchise's
drafted
best
the long
QB.
snapper.
Join me, folks, on the 12th
All right,
day
12.
of Tepper, the owner took from me Terrace Marshall Jr. 11 draft picks wasted, 10
Okay,
QB
that's
started,
a
9
low
Andy
blow.
touchdowns, 8 games of Deontay, 7 years of losing, 6 wins with Wilkes. Matt Rule's plan. 4
Matt
head
Rule's
coaches,
plan.
3 GMs, 2 offensive studs, and the franchise's best QB.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I can't.
It's funny because it's true.
Find the lie in any of this. Find the lie.
Dang.
Matt Rule's plan.
That was clever. That was very
That
clever.
was my favorite one. That
That-
was beautiful.
That was very clever.
Somewhere in there, I was hoping they would add Robbie Anderson. And what's that Bears doing?
Oh yeah. What's that Bears doing? Oh, you mean Sir Purr? That's Sir Purr.
What's that bear doing? Oh my
Ah.
god, man.
Dang, on the 12th day, Terrace Marshall Jr. Jeez. But I mean,
11 draft picks wasted. Ouch.
but I mean, that might have been really, really painful to write, but it's freaking true.
God, man. I don't even think he's a Panthers fan. He was just a typical announcer guy, but in the media, because he has said some negative things about us in the past. I think,
Right,
in
right.
particular about our coaching staff and Bryce Young. But the thing is, like, come on, man. Where's the lie in any of this? Like, for once, he's actually dead on target
Yeah.
with everything. And I'm like, bruh, I can't with this right here. I can't. This is a masterpiece. This is a straight up masterpiece. Bravo.
Yeah,
Bravo.
I mean, it's pretty accurate.
I couldn't resist. I had to put it on stream. I had to. It was just too golden not to put it on stream.
Oh
Oh,
man.
man.
Well,
I was figuring I'd put you guys in a good mood on the way out of here, man. you know?
that was very creative. I gotta give credit where credit's due. That was very
Yeah.
creative.
Yep. They managed to fit TMJ in there and Deontay Johnson, so yep.
Yeah, and
Yep.
just, I mean, it's spot on. It was
Yep.
spot
Yep.
on because it's true.
Man.
I mean,
Matt Rule's plan. He had no plan, that's the thing.
yeah, yeah. Oh my god.
Golly.
I mean, just funny, savage,
Oh my god.
but true. Funny, savagery, but true.
That's the funniest thing I've seen all year, man. That's gotta be.
Oh man, that's
Oh my
wild.
god.
That's wild. Yeah, that's wild. Oh man. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, that
You're very
was
welcome.
that was wild. That was really wild. And it just like it kept getting more
It
brutal and
just kept
brutal.
progressively getting worse as it
Yeah.
went along.
Oh man.
That
When it
was
got when it
beautiful.
got to the 11 draft picks wasted, I was just like, oh geez, they went there.
This
They
guy has no shame. He has no shame at all. No filter. Just
yeah.
went straight for it. Straight for the dagger to the heart. I was like, dang.
Oh man. Wow. That I I'm not gonna be able to unhear that for a good while. Oh man.
Same here. Oh god, I'm gonna be replaying that at least 100 times.
It's like, Jason, what are all the struggles with Carolina? Here, let me send you a song that explains that. Ugh. And hey, if you know the words, you can sing along to it. Oh man.
As long as that doesn't become the Panthers Christmas Carol. Oh god.
Shoot. If they don't get things turned around, more and more, it might be for the next couple of Christmases. Shoot.
Oh no.
Oh man. Goodness gracious. Whew.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Yeah,
Can you make a video of you singing that song?
oh man. Dude, I'm not gonna be able to unhear that for a while. Ugh.
I freaking can't.
Oh God.
That's a masterpiece. That's a straight masterpiece. Like, my God, man.
that was wild. That
Shout
was
out to Dennis Cox, man. Uh, Dennis Cox, man. Wow. From the Adam Gold show.
yeah. That was
Oh, man. That is that's so great.
uh that was wild.
Yeah.
That was quite wild.
Oh my God. Matt Rule's plan is killing me.
Oh man. That was man, they way to wait for them to take it up a notch as soon as they got the day number 5. Jeez.
I get excited to hear every new one.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
That was wild. That
Yep.
was
Yep.
definitely wild. Ah, mm,
Oh my God.
goodness gracious.
That horse, though. That horse.
That horse.
That horse can go on somewhere. That horse. That horse, though.
Definitely does not make me think about wanting to ride, that's for sure. Oh man.
There go that horse. There go that horse Tepper, man. That horse Tepper stealing stuff from us, man.
Oh man. Makes me have to
God.
it's like want to go for a ride? No, that's all right.
That
It's okay. I'll just watch y'all. I'll just watch you, you know.
horse gonna have a tantrum, man. That horse.
Oh man. Phew.
He's just trying to tell you, man. He don't mess with no horses. He just don't. He don't fool with them.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Uh
Wow.
that's a good way to that's a good way for me to end my stream on. But
Right.
are you
Right.
are you gonna continue forth?
Yeah, probably. I'll do some gaming. 1:30.
So y'all know the deal. After this, head on back over to
Mm-hmm.
Corey's channel. I know he's been providing that gaming content, that Assassin's Creed goodness.
Oh, I had 200 people in here during that. Crazy. Dang.
There you go.
Oh my goodness. Everybody wanted to see that. No way. No way. Everybody wanted to see just that. That video. Right?
Hey,
Was it just the video that people came in for?
may have may have been. You know, that's
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 crazy.
what you do.
That's wild, bro.
Hey, just goes to show you never know. You just never know.
Oh, that quiz. I'll play it again. I'll do it again. I don't care. I have zero shame.
Mm, mm, mm.
I have zero shame right now.
Whew. But
oh, he's talking about when Tom Grossi came in. Okay, yeah, when he
oh,
rated. Yeah.
oh, gotcha. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
I went into his chat recently and thanked him, so that was cool. I don't know if he ever saw it because the chat goes so fast, but
Right. Yeah, usually in
yeah,
the
shout out Tom Grossi, man. Appreciate you so much. The big Packers podcaster. For those that don't know, but he reacts to different games and stuff like that. It rates people. So
Ah,
that's cool, man. Got thousands of subscribers, man. That's super cool. There's some of them stuck over here. Hey, if you're from Tom Grossi's people, go over and sub to Blitzball Champ too, and Black and Blue Podcast.
appreciate y'all.
Yeah,
But
and C3 as well. C3 Podcast.
oh yes, another popular one.
Yep, they
um,
deserve them too.
go ahead and fire off your socials so they'll have it on mine.
So on YouTube, you're gonna search up "Keep Pounding 3869." Keep Pounding 3869 for the YouTube. If you just type in "Keep Pounding," you're not gonna find it. You got to type in the numbers too. It's a weird YouTube algorithm. I don't know why it does that, but there you go. As far as Facebook group page, Keep Pounding in all caps. And you can also find me on Instagram, Shadow Warrior with 1W645. If you want to get a hold of me.
Right on, right on. Well, y'all heard the man, so y'all get ready to migrate on over to his stream and enjoy some great gaming. I'm gonna get here. I might take get a big cup of water to down that, and then pass out, cause I gotta usher in the morning for church.
I hear you're going to Japan.
Yep. I leave December 27th, and I will be back January 7th. First time out of the country, so yeah.
Fantastic, man.
So you
We have a subscriber that's in Japan, I believe. I
oh
haven't heard from him in a while.
oh right on, right
It's
on.
been a few months, but yeah, he's been in our chat once or twice. He might be on the Facebook group page. I'm not sure, but
Mm-hmm.
he was in our chat for sure.
Ah, gotcha. But I know y'all will hold it down well while I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
But
Question to both. Thoughts on Jalen Coker?
I like them.
Me too. He was actually our seventh round mock draft choice. So I was surprised to see him as an undrafted, and we picked him up, and lo and behold, dude's practically fighting for number one spot now. So I love him. I think he's great.
I think he's gonna turn out to be a nice little hidden gem that will continue to be polished nicely, and then he's gonna blow up top of the charts. Let's go.
Yep.
Not just platinum, but double uranium, as Donnell Rawlings would say. But
Yeah.
but
Very
yeah,
solid guy.
I think he'll do good. I think he'll do really good.
Mm-hmm.
So let's keep him. Let's continue to evolve him, and should be good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been fun, my friend. I'm about to pass out,
Alrighty.
and but yes, let's get this final win of the final home game tomorrow against the Redbirds,
Yep.
and yeah, for Blitzball champ, and
Keep pounding.
we will see y'all in the next video and our live stream, and let's go get that dub. I'll
Absolutely.
I will see y'all tomorrow.
Alrighty.
Peace.